Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I am your tutor, Hafiz Arsalan Shabir, for the course of Audit and Assurance AA paper. First of all, me, Hafiz Arsalan Shabir, warmly welcome you for the practice to webinars for the December attempt 2020. I hope you are all doing well and and I am hoping that you are all safe and sound from the COVID-19 impacts. So before we are going to start our agenda, I would like to introduce myself first. I am Hafiz Salan Shabir. I have a practical and industry experience more than 12 years. I have worked with KPMG, Tasir Hadi and Company Chartered Accountants. I have also worked with Harwat Hussain Chaudhary and Company Chartered Accountants, Chenab Chenwan Group of Industries, and Hyman Group. Currently, I'm working as a group head of internal audit and compliance at Umar Group of Companies, as well as I'm a faculty member of Professional Academy of Commerce, the leading organization of Pakistan. As well as I am also the course developer and professor at Virtual University of Pakistan. I am also the member of Members Network Panel at ACCA. Members Network Panel is the advisory body in Pakistan to ACCA. And I am also the member of Professional Expert Forum. Today, I would like to discuss with you about the FHAA Audit and Assurance paper for the December 2020 attempt. I would like to say one thing. You know, examiner of FHAA Audit and Assurance paper always say one thing about the students who failed in exams. You know, what's the thing is? He or she always said that the students who appeared in the exams and failed, the only reason behind it, please focus on my words. The only reason behind is that the students have a bookish knowledge, but does not have the practical knowledge. So because of my experience, I have the practical knowledge, industry knowledge, as well as technical slash bookish knowledge. So I am just a combo of you. So if you really focus this practice to pass webinars from which is already started from 3rd November to 7th November, 3 hours daily. If you really spend time with focus and discuss with me all the issues, all the problems which you have, then you have a maximum chances, you have a huge chances you will succeed in the coming exams. You will succeed in the coming exams. So at this time, obviously you people, I can understand your problems, I can understand you what is your feeling now, because exams is coming very soon, in just after a month. So I will say right now, I'm very much confident. You people should be confident. You are my obviously you are my priority students. You don't need to worry at all. We will discuss all the important and critical areas which the examiner going to ask in the coming attempt. We have a we will have a prepare all the critical crucial areas which the examiner can be asked, in the coming exam. So this is all about the discussion at the initial level, which I would like to discuss with you at this stage. My contact number is already given at the first slide, that is assistance for your assistance. If you need any type of assistance after these webinars, or if you need any assistance, wait a second, please. Students, are you hearing me? Do you hear my voice very sound and clear? Please reply in the chat box so that I can confirm that you people are listening to me. G, voice and audience, please. Let me check. Let me check. Sorry, listeners. We due to technical issues, maybe I have received the queries. Many students joined late, and as well as there was some technical problem. Uh, sorry for inconvenience. So we are going to start it again. So I am Hafiz Salan Shabir, your tutor for audit and assurance paper, FH, double A paper. So firstly, I warmly welcome to all of you for the Practice to Pass webinars for the December 2020 attempt. That's my name and that's my contact number for any assistance you require after the webinars. First of all, that's my introduction. I am Hafiz Aslan Shabir, have a 12 years of experience in purely audit field in different types of audits, like forensic audit, internal audit, external audit, workload analysis, different types of audit. I have a 12 years of purely industry experience, as well as if I'm going to tell you my the organization's name, I have worked with KPMG Tasir Hadi and Company Chartered Accountants, Horwath Hussain Chaudhary and Company Chartered Accountants, also work with Chenab Chenman Group of Industries and Hyman Group. Currently, I'm working as a group head of internal audit and compliance at Umar Group of Companies, and I am a faculty member of Professional Academy of Commerce, which is the leading organization in Pakistan, purely for ACCA. And I am also the course developer and professor at Virtual University of Pakistan. I'm the member of Professional Expert Forum at ACCA and member of Members Network Panel and at ACCA. Members Network Panel is the advisory body to ACCA Pakistan. So that's all about my experience. Now, Students, at this stage where you are standing now, I can understand your problems, your issues. You don't need to worry at all because the value we will going to add together in the students, that is what the examiner required. I would like to say one thing, the important thing which the examiner always says. You know what the thing is? We will discuss in a later stage as well, but at this stage, I would like to tell you. Examiner says the students which are failed, who are failed in the exams, who are failed in the exams due to some reason. You know what's the reason is? He or she always said the students who were failed in the exams just because of the lacking in the technical knowledge, and you can say कि practical knowledge. जी, hello, my son. See, the examiner who always said the same thing. We will discuss in after 3 to 4 minutes. So until relax, stay calm. I will come back in 3 to 4 minutes, and then we will start it from the examiner point of view. So please take the relax, stay calm. I will be there in a Twins, now what about my voice? Voice is clear and it's clear. Do you feel any distortion? Okay, so we can resume, right? Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So I was talking about the examiner thinking what the examiner basically asked about the students who are failed in the exams, right? That's the thing which we are talking about. Actually, examiner says that the students who failed because of the lackness or because of the lacking in the practical knowledge as well as technical knowledge, because of the, listen to my words carefully, because of the lacking in the professional technical knowledge as well as practical knowledge. So here you people you people may have a very good bookish knowledge, you people may have a very good technical knowledge, but you maybe do not have the industry knowledge, practical knowledge. So here I am a combo for you, because I am a combo for you. I think again this is a problem. I think this is a problem again. Gee, so I am a combo for you. I will provide you the technical and as well as the practical knowledge and technical knowledge both. So you don't need to worry at all. So we are going to start the agenda. What is our the total 5 days agenda? Okay. So our first day agenda is introduction of the paper, that is the examiner approach. Then our first day agenda includes marking scheme. Then we will discuss the very important area, that is audit risk and its components. The audit risk and its components. Then we will make a practice. Then we will make a practice of the questions which will help you in making the exams pass. Then we will also discuss about the article and the question which we will do from the as a homework. So that's the first day agenda. Next, what about the second day agenda of our session? Our second day agenda would be little introduction again about the examiner approach. Then we will discuss about the internal controls, in which we will discuss about the deficiencies and the recommendations, and then we will make the questions and as a practice which will really help you to grip on that topic. And then we will discuss about the article which the examiner tells about the students' approach and the important areas of this topic. So now, third day agenda would includes the marking scheme, what is the substantive audit procedures, and then again we do a practice of this area so that you people will feel comfortable in doing the questions in the exams. So that's the first 3 days agenda. What would be our fourth day agenda? Our fourth day agenda would be fundamental principles of ACCA or ethics, you can say, threats and safeguards, and then we will make the questions as a practice and read the article which will help you why the students, what the students do the weaknesses in the exams about this topic. And our fifth day agenda on 7th November, we will discuss about the reports plus going concern topic, materiality topic, and then obviously as a practice, as a precedent, we will do the practice of these topics. These topics are very important. These topics are very important for the paper point of view, for the paper point of view. So you people now hear my voice clear and loud. Just give me the reply in chat box. Okay. Most of the students are very clear and very clear in hearing my voice. So I think the students who is not hearing my voice in there, it may be the problem of their internet. So please check at your side as well. Most of the students are listening my voice very clear. Thank you, Mohammad Anis, Taha Sheikh, Qausar Ahmed, Sejal, and many one, Nivan Nizar. So this is all about the agenda which we have discussed. Remember this, if you do a practice and totally consume your time with me, you will have the maximum chances to pass that paper. So if you anything in your mind, if anything negative in your mind, don't take it as a serious, don't take it as a as your negative side. So that's all about the agenda. Now, examiner approach. Examiner approach. Now, I have a question from the audience, from the listeners. Why you are giving the paper of F8? Why you people giving the F8? What's the objective of the examiner to pass that F8 paper and to put the F8 double A paper in the ACCA list? Do you people have any idea why you are giving this F double A paper? Yes, Yusuf. Yes, Ajal, you are right. Excellent. Muhammad Fasiuddin. Yes, give me your feedback. Hurry up. Give me your feedback fast so that we can utilize this time maximum. We can add value together among all of them. Yes, Muhammad Awais, you are right. Sir Akram, yes, you are also right. Yes, Umar Nadeem Khan, true. Yes, you are true. So now, there are many answers which are approximately right, but I will tell you the complete picture of the examiner approach. Basically, what the examiner expect, what the examiner expect from the students in the exams. So number one thing, examiner wants the student who will pass the AA paper and clear the ACCA complete exams. So the student should know how the audit work start, how the assurance work, how many types of audits, how many how what are the problems student can face in the practical field during the audit work, what are the possible factors regarding audit. So examiner expect from the student to understand all the procedures of the audit. Procedures means from the scratch of the audit till the completion stage of the audit. Student should know what are the possible problems, what are the possible factors, what are the possible stages can be faced by the auditor during the audit. So my first point is knowledge and understanding of the process of carrying out the assurance. Okay. Now, the second, what the examiner expects to ensure that the candidate who passed this exam understand the basics of the audit, understand the basics of the audit. So that's the third point which I was also discussing with you. He or she expect from the student that the student should have the balance between the technical knowledge as well as practical knowledge. What I was saying, that's the main reason, due to the reason that the student failed in an exam, he has some technical knowledge but maybe lack in the practical knowledge, which due to which I am available, due to which ACCA available me for their students. So another thing which is mentioned in the examiner approach in the article, candidates often display a lack of accounting knowledge. He also says that the students also has the lackness in the accounting knowledge. Another thing which is mentioned by the examiner in their article, you can get this article from the ACCA website, and for your convenience I have also mentioned in the last bullet. You can just copy it and paste into the URL, you will get the article directly. One thing more which is also important from a student point of view, that the mistakes, examiner says mistakes shows that candidates have not been involved in or had to exposure to a real audit, to a real audit. So that's the thing which I was telling you. We have to improve it. Okay, we have to improve it. So that's all about the examiner approach. So now you should be a little bit comfortable, and you should know about why you are giving the AA paper, why you are giving the AA paper. Now you know the objective of the audit and assurance paper. Now you can understand why you are appearing in the exams. The objective of the exams is to know about the processes and understanding of the audit. Now, next thing which is also very important, I would like to make a base which is very strong. So what is the marking scheme? What is the marking scheme? Double A paper has two sections. First section and second section. First section naming section A, which includes three case-based objective test questions, case-based objective test questions, or you can say OT cases. You will face three questions, and each question will include 5 MCQs. How much MCQs? 5 MCQs in each question, and there are three OT cases are going to be tested. Then it means 5 MCQs into three questions. Ultimately, it will lead to 15 questions, 15 MCQs, which you will give answer in the coming attempt. 15 MCQs. Okay. Each MCQ has 2 marks. It means there are 30 marks section. 30 marks section. So we can say that the section A includes 30 marks, in which we will have in which we will have three questions, three OT cases, and each OT case has 5 MCQs, and each MCQ is for 2 marks, so total is 30 marks section. 30 marks section. Now, the next thing is section B. Section B is divided. You will face three questions. One question is for 30 marks, and two questions each for 20 mark. Listen to me again. Section B contains three questions. One question based on 30 mark, and other two questions 20 mark each. So section B includes 30 plus 20 plus 20, 70 marks section. So total 100 marks. 30 for section A, and section B is for 70, so total is 100 marks. So the section B is, you can say, is a constructive case questions. These are not MCQs questions, they are purely study based, and you can you need complete theory to write these answers. So that's all about the marking scheme. So my students, my audience, my listeners, is everything clear till yet? Marking scheme is clear, examiner approach is clear? Yes, give me your feedback. Very good, thumbs up. Cool. Give me your feedback very fast. I need your motivation, because your motivation is really helped me to get more motivated. Yes. So that's the thing is clear. Yes. Thank you, Hilal. Thank you, Jamshed, uh, Nimra, Imanwa. Thank you. Now, Kausar Ahmed, Atik Khoja. Okay. Thank you, Ji. Thank you for your feedback. Your feedback really helps me to get every time motivated. So we are going to the next slide, which is each and every word of this slide really help you. So I need your 110% focus. Now, time spending allocation, time spending allocation, which is also the major issue for the students, because in past I was also the student, and I can understand this is also the very pathetic issue. But Don't need to worry. Now, what is the time spending allocation? Read my three words and endorse it in your mind. Read, plan, and answer. What I am saying, read, plan, and answer. So what you do in the exams, you firstly read the question, plan the answer, and then write the answer. You do three tasks. So here we are able to manage three tasks. At this level, I will tell you one thing. That is first section, in which I recently told you that 30 marks section, 3 OT cases. In 3 OT cases, 5 MCQs in each OT case, and each OT case has 5 MCQs, and each MCQ has 2 marks. So there are 30 marks section. You have 1.8 minute per mark. What it means? 1.8 minute per mark means you have to read, plan, and answer for 1 mark, and for 1 mark you only have 1.8 minute. You only have 1.8 minute, and 1.8 minutes into 30 marks, it means for section A, for section, you have only 54 minutes. So you have to spend 54 minutes maximum in the first section. 18 minutes for one OT case, and it means 3 OT case means 18 into 3 is equal to 54 minutes. But you people have the copy pencil, you should have right now. If you do not have, then arrange it right now. I will wait only for 30 seconds. Please arrange the copy and pencil. I will tell you one thing more. I will tell you one thing more. You have only 30 seconds. G. Yes. Now, what I'm going to tell you, that is very important. Here is the first step which I'm going. Here is the first trick. You can say trick or trip. You have 54 minutes for MCQs. You can complete these MCQs in a minimum time. You don't need to take it 54 minutes. So here you can save some time. You can save some time. So that's the first trick. Please remember it. Only 15 MCQs will be there, and you have 54 minutes for 15 MCQs. So that's the first trick which I'm going to tell you. You can save the time here. You can save the time here. So students asking my number, my contact number is, I'm again telling you during the session, see 92345 447 92345 447 I am available for a call and WhatsApp as well, but not during the session because I am with you right now. So 18 minutes for ITK for OTKs. So here you can save the time. Okay, got it? You can save the time here, 5 to 10 minutes. If you can save it, it means you have done a big achievement. Now, if I will go for the second section, section B, one question 30 mark, so you have 54 minutes, two questions 20 mark each, so 1.8 per minute, so 36 minutes each question, because 20 marks and 1.8 into 20 is equal to 36. So for two questions you have 72 minutes in these two questions. 72 minutes in these two questions. So grand total of minutes is 54, then 54 and 71, 80 minutes divided by 60 minutes per hour is equal to 3 hours. So if you can, now listen to me again carefully. Now listen to me again. You have 15 minutes extra. One thing which the ACCA given you at the initial stage of the exams, that is the 15 minutes extra, plus if you can save the 10 minutes here, you have 25 minutes left. Here you are, so here you have 25 minutes extra. 15 minutes given by the ACCA and 10 minutes if you will save in this section. 25 minutes. Now students, tell me one thing, specifically for those who are the retakers, who are the retakers. The retakers, anyone in the retakers who are going to reattempt the paper. Obviously, I'm going one thing to tell you one thing that is specifically for retakers. If your paper does not complete in a given time, then mark my trick, endorse this trick, remember this trick. Please save the time here and 15 minutes. The question which you have left in your past exams, like one question or half question, so your problem will be addressed here. Your problem will be addressed here. So maybe some problem, I'm just trying to resolve your problem at the initial stages of the of my slides because I can resolve it. That's why I'm telling you. So you can save there. Okay. So my audience, my listeners, my students, anyone has the any question regarding the read, plan, and answer your time spending allocation, or is it a crystal clear? Thank you, Sejal, Medhat Mumtaz, Sair Akram, Taimur Khan. Okay, Tajdar Mir saying, please repeat where we can save the time. Here I told you, this is a section 50 contains 15 MCQs, and for 15 MCQs you have 54 minutes. So for 15 MCQs, do you think 54 minutes, spending 54 minutes on 15 MCQs, is it, do you think, is it reasonable for you? No, I think you should, it's my opinion, you should save at least 5 to 10 minutes in this section, and 15 minutes has been given by the ACCA at the starting time of the paper. Other than 3 hours, you have 15 minutes extra, and the 10 minutes you will save there, so you have 25 minutes. So hopefully I think this thing will be clear to each and every one. So now we are going to the next slide, that is, why did you fail? Now here I am here I have done some bifurcation for the students because I have students of different, you can say different categories. Someone failed between 30 to 40 marks, someone failed from 45 to 49 marks, someone failed from 10 to between 10 to 15 marks, right? I know that is happening. So now, if you are fail between the 45% to 49%, if you are fail between 45% to 49%. What it means that poor exam technique. What is poor exam technique? Poor exam technique is basically about time management, pressure management. So we will discuss with you, and we will tell you where the exam technique related articles are given. So, but I mentioned the crux. I extract all the important information which you should no. So the students who failed between 45% and to 49%, it means you have a good technical knowledge, but your exam technique is no is very poor. So you need to improve it. Means time spending, time allocation, pressure management. So this area is important. Next thing is if you get the very low marks, you know, if you get the very low marks between 25% to like under 25% or 30%, it means it means you have a lack of knowledge. You have a lack of knowledge. Now, I'm saying that lack of knowledge. I would like to say one thing more. First, if you have a good technical knowledge, then in the exams you may face the time pressure. If you do not know the technical knowledge, bookish knowledge, or you even cannot attempt the question because your preparation is very weak, then you even cannot face these types of issues. So there are two stages to pass exams. First, you should know about the technical and practical knowledge, and if you are writing these knowledge, then the second step is to improve your exam technique. But what all these things we will discuss it. So if you have did you struggle to come up with answers? So obviously it means you need more improvement, you need more preparation, you need more work hard. So that's why did you fail. This is all about the crux which you should know and which you can realize if you are fail in these scenario. So you should know now. You can realize you need to give attention on exam technique as well as your preparation. So if you fail in this lab, it means you need to focus on exam technique. So that's all about why did you fail in exams. So now the second thing is tips for success. Then I will read the questions and give the answers. What is the tips for success? What is the tips for success? Number one, I will explain you in easy words. One thing, read the question, write down your answer. Focus on my words. Please focus, be attentive. Write down your answer and then compare it with the answer given by the examiner. And compare it to identify that you cover each and everything which you need to mention in the question so if you make the practice, compare it your answer with the examiner, identify what you have missed, what you write down the further elements in the question. That's the first step. Okay, but again, this will be done in my session. We will make practice of past papers. and discuss with you. Don't worry again. Number second, don't be afraid. Means if you do the practice in your home, then obviously you will not become afraid. You will not become afraid in attempting questions in the exam hall. In the exams hall. So we will make practice again. So now, one more important thing is which I have told you, that is time management. Pick up the question, write down the answer in the given time, which I have which I have told you 1.8 mark, 1.8 minute per mark. So pick up the question and write down the answer within the given time frame. If you complete it and if you complete it successfully, and if you complete it and if you compare it with the examiner answer and the answer is right and you have done the answer in a given time, it means your preparation is good, your exam technique is good. So make the practice, pick up the question, write down the answer within a given time frame as defined by myself, and then compare it with the examiner answer. If you do not miss anything, it means your preparation from perspective. Both perspective includes your knowledge and exam technique. If you do it, then it means you manage it very well. So we will do each and everything before the exam. So when you will appear the exams, it shows that you are the student of Arsalan should be. So be ready for this. Again, when you write down the question, when you write down the answer of the question, do not look before attempting the question. Do not look before attempting the question. If you look before attempting the question, you will never realize where is your weak point, where you are not up to the mark. So, not to look at the answers, not to look at the answers before really attempting the question. So, do not forget it. Next point, which is the last point, that is don't forget to review the marking guide. So, we will also discuss in a later stage. So, that's all about your tips for success. Now we will go on to the next slide, and we are going to take the any question from your side. So I have a question from the Fahima Rahman. If anyone failed, got 35 to 40 marks, it means like you have your preparation is not good, and as well as your exam technique is also not good. So everyone is listening to me very clearly, very clear and very loud. Is yes, give me the reply in the chat box. And if you have understand each and everything, then if you understand each and everything, then obviously give me the reply yes. Yes, Durga Tewari, okay. And you need some guidance, Durga Tewari, before attempting the paper. And yes, Arsalan Ahmad, Sakibullah. Yes, Babra, I am getting your messages. Yes, it's perfect. Yes, okay, thank you. So, Taimur, how can I improve my exam technique? Yes, we are going to discuss. Thank you. challenging. So uh, next slide is G. First section can be tested anywhere in the syllabus. One thing you need to remember. Concept of audit and assurance, functions of an audit, corporate governance, including ethics and professional conduct, distinguishing between functions of internal and external audit. Section B, the areas which can be asked by the examiner from the risk audit risk topic, internal controls, techniques, identify and describe the audit evidence, subsequent events, going concern, and audit reports. These are the critical areas and crucial areas which the examiner can be tested from you in the December 2020 attempt. So one thing I would like to mention, which is also very important, an examiner says himself, when what is this? Worst area which the student is not capable in mostly cases to attempt section B. So section B, which includes 70 marks, which section has the majority marks, student is not capable to attempt it in a professional manner. So according to the examiner, which is also mentioned, in the examiner approach, that is the worst area is section B. So we need to focus on section B. Sorry. Now, so our topic is audit risk. What's the name of topic is? Audit risk. It 99% has a chance that this topic can be checked in the December 2020 attempt, and it is very important topic. On the other hand, it is also very simple topic. You just give me 3 hours a day, and for today, if you will give me remaining time to understand this topic, but during this topic you should be attentive, I can assure you that this topic will no more longer complex for you. This topic will not be longer complex for you. So day one agenda is audit risk. Before going to start, I would like to ask about from yourself, because I feel that you people have already read this topic. So can you tell me what is an audit risk? I need your feedback. Hurry up. Give me your knowledge. Give me your thinking. I would like to see. I would like to know about your preparation level. So, who is hearing my voice? Give me the answer. What is an audit risk? Kausar Ahmed. Yeah, anyone. I just would like to know what's your thinking. What is your preparation? Okay, Muhammad Awais. Okay, okay, Babra. Okay, Rohaina. Okay, Tania. Okay, Vijay Sathis. Okay, Alina Sabu, Adil Faisal, mm, Malik. Okay, okay, very good, very good. So now, what is an audit risk? Audit risk is to give an inappropriate opinion on the financial statements when the financial statements will be materially misstated. To give an inappropriate opinion on the financial statements when financial statements will be materially misstated. So, what do you mean by materially misstated? Then we can understand the complete sentence, obviously. What is materially misstated, or you can say what is meant by risk of material misstatement. G. Risk of material misstatement is the difference between the amount, classification, presentation, disclosure from the real facts. Means in the financial statements, there are many things in the financial statements. If these financial statements and the elements of the financial statements is not aligned with the real facts, is not reconciled with the real facts, it means that the financial statements are does not show true and fair view, because it is not according to the real facts. It is not according to the real facts. So if this thing is happen, it means risk of material misstatement exists where it is exist in the financial statements. So we can understand that this point, that when financial statement will be materially misstated, so what it means that the financial statements does not show true and fair view, or it means you can say financial statement does not give a true picture from if I compare with the real facts. So to give an inappropriate opinion, so auditor can give an inappropriate opinion on the financial statements when financial statements are not accurate. So the opinion which the auditor should have to give in the should have to be given if everything is clear, but when financial statements are materially misstated, it gives the another opinion, it gives the inappropriate opinion. Auditor does not give auditor should not given this opinion, but it has given this inappropriate opinion because the material misstatement exists in the financial statements. And why, what are these misstatements? These misstatements are mentioned at there. Okay, I'm trying to convince to understand you in a very simple words. Now, what are the components of audit risk? Audit risk is equal to risk of material misstatement into detection risk. Audit risk is equal to risk of material misstatement into detection risk. Now we are going Now we are going into the next slide in which we are going to further elaboration of risk of material misstatement. So risk of material misstatement, if we explore it, risk of material misstatement means inherent risk into control risk into detection risk. Inherent risk into control risk into detection risk. So what we have done, we just explore the risk of material misstatement. That is, risk of material misstatement is equal to inherent risk into control risk, and then detection risk is the separate element. Detection risk is the separate element. So risk of material misstatement includes here. Now, what is inherent risk and control risk? Before we are going to the detailed definition, detailed explanation, remember one thing: inherent risk and control risk. What it is, we are going to discuss it in our next slide. Inherent risk and control risk, it is beyond the auditor's control because auditors cannot control it because it is due to the other side, means client side. This risk is due to the client, is due to the client side, not from the auditors. Don't worry, we are going to discuss it in the next slide, why inherent risk and control risk is come from the client side. Just remember one thing which I am telling you right now, that is inherent and control risk comes from the client side. Just remember this thing till yet. Only this thing. Now, detection risk is under the auditor control. So there are three types of risk: inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. Inherent and control risk is under the auditor's control. No, it is not under the auditor's control. It is beyond the auditor's control. And detection risk is under the auditor control. So, uh, how much you are attentive, I am going to put a question, that is inherent risk and control risk is under the auditor's control. Is it right or wrong? Inherent risk and control risk is under the auditor's control. Is it right or wrong? Just give me your feedback very fast. Yes, very good. Yes, I'm getting many more messages. Yes, Bilal. Yes, Saud Khan. Yes, Khalid, Priyanka. Yes, you're right. Cool. Adil Faisal, very good. Yes, Akshaya, very good. Nehal Nafi, very good. You are also right. Very good. So you are with me. I'm feeling very good. Thank you for giving me a motivation. Next, now here we are going to discuss what is an inherent risk. So I'm going to erase all these drawings. Yeah, yeah. So what is inherent risk? Inherent risk is basically due to the complexity in business nature, due to the complexity in transactions, due to the judgments and estimates done by the organization. So if you focus on these three examples, yeah, if you can focus on these three examples, is there any relation with the auditor? Complexity in business nature, is there any relation with the auditor? No, it is beyond the, it is beyond the auditor's control. It is under the control of the client. It is under the control of the client. Complexity in transactions, is there any relationship with the auditor? No, never. Judgment and estimates done by the client, any relation? So this is the inherent risk. Is this is the inherent risk, and it is come from the client side. So now you can understand what is an inherent risk. Now I will give you a very good example. You people should aware of it. I know you people are intelligent. I'm getting your feedbacks. You people are very much intelligent. You should know. You know what was happened with the Nokia? Many years before, I couldn't remember the exact year when the Nokia lost from the market. When the Nokia lost from the market, you know why? Because Nokia is dealing with the IT infrastructure, with the information technology. So the industries which are IT based, which are industries which are IT based or fashion based organizations. These are riskier organizations because in IT itself is an inherent risk, because due to the advancement in the technology, if you will not compete it, you will lost from the market. So Nokia is dealing with the inherent risky industry, inherent risky organization, and complex business nature. You can say Nokia has the complex business nature, obviously. So uh, Nokia didn't compete and lost from the market at that time. So that's the inherent example of inherent risk. I will give you one more example. I can give you one more example. That is MNC versus local multinational corporation versus the local organization. You are living in different countries. Like you people can mention where in which country you are living. Can you mention in the question box in which country you are mentioned, like Oman, Dubai, Malaysia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh? Yes, Pakistan, London, Saudi Arabia, Cameroon, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, yeah, UK, Qatar. Now, why I'm asking? Why I'm asking this? Because in these countries there are many multinational corporations as well as local corporations. Now, if you see the structure and realize the structure of the multinational corporation, multinational means it is working all over the Pakistan, it is working all over the world, all over the countries. So what about what their business nature? What about their transactions? So their transactions are complex, their business at a very large scale globally. So there can be a complexity in business nature. You can understand the business very in a very difficult manner, right? As compared to the local organization in which is operating in a very small town of your country. ठीक है, right? Very small town of a country. So their business nature is very simple. Their transactions are very simple, right? So the bigger the organization, it can be a complex nature. So it depends on the organization to organization. Now you can understand what is inherent risk. Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Now, complexity of transactions means, Priyanka asked a question, what can be the example of complexity of transaction? Means complexity in transactions means a company who is working all over the world. So there are many transactions, intercompany transactions, inter country transactions. There are many transactions. So the quantity and the huge volume of the transactions and the different countries transactions makes the transactions complex. So now what is control risk? Inherent risk can be minimized, not eliminated. So what is control risk? Where the objective of the control is not achieved or weak controls. Where the objective of the control is not achieved or weak controls. Suppose I will give you another example. If you will go to the MNC organization, their controls are very good because MNCs has a proper policies and procedures. Suppose if we are going to compare two examples. Suppose for the purchasing, for the purchase of anything, company has different roles. One person is responsible for doing the purchase, making the purchase, and the separate person is responsible for booking the liability of the purchase, or you can say for booking the purchase. And the third person is separate for making the payments, for making the authorized payments. So there are three different persons. There are three different roles who are managing the purchase function. So there are proper controls, there are proper segregation, there are proper segregation of duties. So there are proper segregation of duties. On the other hand, I will give you an example where there is a small organization who has only one person who is managing, who is purchasing, booking the liability, and doing the payments. There is only one person to make all the things. So they are proper weak controls. So there is a proper chance, there is a maximum chance to for the fraud can be occur. There is a maximum chance that the person can make the fake purchases. There is a maximum chance that the fake payments can be done. On the other hand, if I will compare it with the MNCs where each and every function of the purchase is managing by the separate person. So control risk in which the organizations which have a poor weak controls, not proper controls, it means that the control risk is high for that organization. On the other hand, where the controls are very strong. So now one thing last about the control risk, why the MNC mm, has allocated three roles for three separate functions, because their control objective is to prevent from the fraud and error. The objective of the control is to prevent from the fraud and error. From the fraud and error, आप कह सकते हैं, ठीक है? You can say about it that the objective of the control to prevent from the fraud and error. That's why every person is responsible for their activity, and so that's why segregation of duties has been done. On the other hand, where the organization has a weak controls, so the control objective is lost here, because fraud can be happen, error can be happen. So both things can be done intentionally or unintentionally. So where the control risk is high, it means that the organization is also riskier. Now, in the organizations which has a weak controls, their risk can be transferred, the risk can be transferred to the financial statements. Now, the third is detection risk. The third is detection risk. Detection risk comes from the auditor side. Comes from the auditor side. Yes, we have discussed it. We have discussed it in the last slide. So detection risk includes two type of risk. One is sampling risk and non-sampling risk. Afterwards, we will take a 15-minute break. So sampling risk means that the auditor fails to select the sample rightly. If the auditor fails to select the sample, if the auditor, listen to my words, if the auditor fails to select the sample rightly, correctly, or the samples which he should which should be selected but not selected by the auditor. It means that a sampling risk, that the sample of the auditor is not correct. It means that it is sampling risk includes. The sampling risk occur. On the other hand, what it means, non-sampling risk. Non-sampling risk means like you have select the correct sample, you have select the correct sample, but you do not apply it correctly, you do not interpret it correctly. In sampling risk, sample is not correct, but in non-sampling risk, your sample is correct, but you do not apply it correctly, you do not interpret it correctly. So that's all about the audit risk. Audit risk means inherent risk into control risk into detection risk. So now, before going to the break, then this is important. I will tell you after the break. Now we have 10 minutes, 10, I think you can take 15 minutes break and then we will come back. Okay? When you will come back, write down in your chat like you come back after taking a cup of coffee or a tea, and I will also be waiting for you. Thank you. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, guys. Do you hear my voice very clear and sound? Yes, everyone is come back after taking the cup of coffee, huh? Very good. Yes, we are just going to start in a 1 minute maximum. Who is not hearing my voice, kindly rejoin the webinar so that your problem may be resolved. Yes, Sajal, we are going to start a class. Yes, guys. So now, Dave, agenda is this slide is very important. Our agenda is audit fresh, and this slide is important in the perspective of paper point of view. This is the slide. Obviously, this is also the crux which you need to be focused on it. Everything, every word is important in this slide. What are the students required to take care during the exam? What are the students required to take care during the exam when attempting audit risk question? Number one mistake which the students did in their papers. The one thing is that the students mention business risk instead of audit risk. As you people are very, very intelligent, you are giving me answer of each and everything. So I can confirm that you people know what is business risk. So we mention business risk instead of audit risk. So uh, when you are going to sit in the exams, you should know the difference between the audit risk and business risk. Number second, how it is audit risk. We are going to do a question after this slide. Then you will clear each and everything. Remember one thing more, that is the question of the audit risk contains three parts. The question of the audit risk contains three parts, in which you have to mention what is audit risk, how it is audit risk, and the auditor response means what the auditor should do in the reply of audit risk or to cover the audit risk. So audit risk question contains three parts. You have to mention in the answer what is an audit risk. Remember it in your on your fingers. Please remember it on your fingers. What is audit risk? How it is audit risk? And what should be the auditor response? Now, you know what the examiner says about the students who failed in the exams, what they did in the exams? Students ignore to identify or to mention that how it is audit risk. Student mention can easily mention that what is an audit risk, but forget or forgot to identify or mention how it is audit risk. So there is a very big difference. Here we will tell the examiner this is the audit risk. I will give you an example, no? And then make a practice question. Don't worry. So second, we have to mention that the audit risk, how it become the audit risk. We have to mention the impact, and the third is auditor response. So these are the mistakes which the variety of students can do and done in the past. So if you people are very much sensible. So if I'm giving you the things, the range of mistakes that the student can do now, now I can confirm, or I am very much hopeful, at least from your side, that these mistakes cannot be happen from your side, because being a teacher, being your counselor, being your positive wisher, I have telling you, I have given you all these mistakes which can be possible by the students. So students mention business risks instead of audit risk. Student ignore to mention how it is audit risk, and the reply of the auditor response is not the adequate response. So these all things mentioned in the reference of article of audit risk. I have given the article, I have given you the you can say the link. So you just need to copy it and paste it there, URL. Now, a very small example, very two small examples, then we will come to the question. Okay, are you ready? If you are ready, then I am going to put a question. Yes. Nithu ready, Barbara, yes. Bilal, yes, ready. Now, the client, the management purchase the fixed assets. Manager purchase the fixed assets. Approximately, if I say like 20 million, I am not mention any currency. Like you will face the question in dollars, so or pounds. So I will tell you. Suppose the company purchased the fixed assets worth rupees 20 million. ठीक है? Agreed. Now management is going to record it as a non-current assets. Management is going to record it as a non-current assets. Okay. Now you people should think what the management can done wrong. Management is going to register the purchase assets as a non-current assets. Suppose ignore this word, fixed assets, ignore this word. If the management is purchase 20 million worth assets and going to record it as a non-current asset, what can be the mistake done by the management? Any option? Any just give your feedback. Yes, Salman, you are right. You are right. Anyone? Anyone? Can be expensed or wrongly? No. No, Hamza. Incorrectly classified as a fixed asset. Yes, Taha, you are right. Yes, Taha, you are again right. Anyone or Rahul? Yes, 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 yes. Rahul is very much right. Yes, Bilal Javed. Yes, come on, Rahina. Yes, overstate the capital expense. No, we are not talking about the capitalization, Rahina. Reshma, yes, my question is the management is going to purchase assets? I'm not mentioning fixed assets or I'm not mentioning anything. Please ignore this word. If the management is going to has purchased 20 million worth rupees assets, one thing, and going to record it as a non-current assets, going to record the as a non-current asset. So what the mistake can be done by the auditor, by the management? So management can be recorded the current assets as a non-current assets. Management can be recorded as a current asset, a non-current asset. So I'm again asking the question, that is, management is purchased 20 million worth rupees assets and going to record it as a non-current asset. So what would be the audit risk? What can be the mistake done by the management? So the possible mistake done by the management, that is, they can be recorded as a current asset, they can be recorded uh, current assets to non-current assets. So there is a possibility that some assets are current assets, but management is going to record it as a non-current asset. So there is a possibility, right? Split of assets. Yes, from Muhammad Talan, you are right. So management bifurcation can be go wrong. There is a mistake done by the management. There can be a mistake. So the mistake which can be done by the management is an audit risk. You have to cover it. Okay, don't worry, I will give you another example. Revenue versus capital expenditure. Management capitalized management capitalized all the expenditure in the value of non-current assets. In the value of non-current assets. In the value of the non-current assets. So I can, if I can write it, so it would be more feasible for you. If I can write it, it would be more feasible for you. Yes. Yes. So I am saying if management is capitalize all capital expenditure into the cost of non-current assets. So what can be the possible mistake done by the management? Like management is capitalized all expenditure. Okay, management is capitalized, or you can say is all management is adding all expenditure into the cost of non-current asset as a capitalization. As a capitalization. So what would be the mistake can be done by the client, by the management, that the management is adding all expenditure into the cost of non-current assets as a capitalization. No. So what can be the possible mistake? Can you mention in the chat? Can you mention in the chat, in the question box? Yes, Medhat, you are right. There may be a revenue expense misclassification. Yes, because there is a possibility that the management, which is adding all the expenditure into the cost of non-current assets as a capitalization, only those expenses, which are capital expenditure can be capitalized as non-current assets. In the non-current assets, does not, you should not add a revenue expenditure into the cost of non-current assets. Okay, so it will, so at this stage we should understand what is the audit risk and what can be the mistake done by the management. That mistake can be your audit risk. So here, what can be the mistake done by the management, what can be the mistake by the management, that is, management can add revenue expense into the non-current assets as a capitalization, right? So this is the possible mistake done by the management. Remember, the mistake by the management, that mistake can be your audit risk. Okay, now again, management purchased 1 million assets and mentioned in non-current assets. Okay, this is the thing which the management doing. What can be the mistake done by the management? Management can be stated the current assets into the non-current assets. Yes, that's a possibility, can be occur, right? So what the mistake is your audit risk. Okay, this is your audit risk. Okay, now what is mentioned in the question? Question, this is the thing, this is the statement which is mentioned in the question. Now what you will do, you will think the possible mistake can be done by the management. That mistake is your audit risk. That mistake is your audit risk. Now ये तो that's the one point, that is your audit risk. Now why it is audit risk? Why it is audit risk? Because it overstates the non-current assets. Plus, you can say the or over classify misclassification of the assets, right? So first the scenario, this is the scenario which is given in the question. The possible mistake is your audit risk, and why it is audit risk is the important area which you need to remember, that you have to mention why it is audit risk. Students ignore this area. As I mentioned, is student ignore this area where the student lose the marks. So you are my students, you are my audience, you are my listeners. Please do not do this mistake again. You have to mention the audit risk and why it is audit risk. Now, third is auditor response. What should be the auditor response? So auditor response is to review the list, to ensure that all assets are non-current assets. Okay, so that's the auditor response. So these are the three elements which you need to remember in this question. Now, I will make it easy for you further. How to identify audit risk? The thing which is doing by the management. This is a scenario, and the possible mistake is your audit risk. So in this area, I have write down one thing, that is think around the other way. Remember this sentence, think around the other way. Now endorse it in your mind. Now come to my example. Scenario, management purchased 1 million assets and mentioned in non-current assets. Now think around the other way. Think around the other way. So management can be stated the current assets into the non-current assets. Okay, identification of auditors become very much easier. So again, come to the example. Now we can come to the question, a practice question, which is really helpful after uh, after our webinar. So open the question, and the question is I'm giving you the name of the question. Yes, practice to pass. Today is our day one. Yes, Abraham, question. Please open this question. Question, Abraham. Yes, now this is the question. Now, first of all, first of all, for your convenience, I am just open the answer, but we do not discuss it until unless after getting your feedback. Yes, now comes to the question in paper. Now please write down the another tip. And the paper, what you will do, read the requirement first. Don't read the question first, read the requirement first. Read the requirement first. So what is our requirement? Requirement is explain the components of audit risk. Explain the components of audit risk. So what are the components of the audit risk? Please mention in the box, mention in the question, what are the components of the audit risk? We have discussed it recently. Please mention what are the components of audit risk. Hurry up, fast. So this is 6 marks. What are the components of audit risk? Yes, very good. Hurry up so that you can know. Audit risk ki baat, it is talking about the audit risk. Audit risk means inherent risk into control risk into detection risk, right? Yes, Sugra, you are right. Koster, yes, please hurry up. There are many students in the class. Yes, mention it, write down it. If you write down it, you will remember it till your exams. Yes, Ammar. Now, next requirement is for each component, state an example of a factor. Of a factor means inherent risk, control and detection rate, which can result in increased audit risk. Means what is the examiner ask you about? Mention the three factors of the audit risk, that is inherent risk, control risk and detection risk. Now state an example of a factor which can result in increased audit risk. So what are the examples of inherent risk? We have discussed the examples. Which industries are the inherent risk? What are the factors? We have discussed this recently. Please mention in the question box. Inherent risk, examples of inherent risk. Complex business, yes. IT industry, yes. Judgment, yes. Very good. Complex transactions, yes. Complication of transaction, yes. Complex business, yes. Fast moving consuming of goods, yes. It can be right. Yes. Now, here the question is from like we are going to discuss in general. Obviously, a requirement is general. It is asking about the audit risk and the examples of the audit risk, judgment estimates right away. Now, we come to the answer and realize and evaluate, are we wrong or right? G, marking scheme, 1 mark for each component of audit trick. So there are 3 marks for mentioning and explaining the audit risk, means inherent control and detection risk, and 1 mark for each example. Now, what are the examples? So this is the first component, inherent risk. Inherent risk. So we have discussed inherent risk, right? So now factors which may increase the inherent risk include, so changes in the nature of industry. So we discussed this. A high degree of regulation over certain areas. If the industry is highly regulated, pharmaceutical industry is highly regulated, banking industry all over the world is highly regulated. It means they are inherent riskier organizations. Event or transactions that involves accounting estimates. So these things which we have discussed. Complex processes, this is what we discussed. So the things which we discussed that are all right. Now come to the controls, where the control risk is higher, where is the management is poor, where the weak internal controls, where the new accounting system is developed. The new accounting system does not have the controls. So what are the factors of control risk? Yeah, changes in key personnel. So when the key management is changed, controls will become weak. Suppose I will give you an example. If you are doing the job and your boss is on leave, that day you will enjoy in the office, right? You will enjoy in the office. So whenever the senior management is not in the office and left the organization's control, it will become weak. Deficiencies in internal control, installation of significant new IT systems. So that the things which we have discussed. Now, third element what we discussed about the detection risk. So that detection risk, we discussed that due to sample size or choose the wrong sample size, or you can say applying the incorrect procedures or interpret the result wrongly, right? So that's the thing. Inadequate supervision, incorrect sample sizes, incorrect sampling techniques. So these are all the examples we have discussed in the detection risk. So your first portion of this question is clear. Do you have any ambiguity? Then kindly ask in the question box. Do we have any ambiguity? Then, cause a non-sampling risk means where the auditor correctly choose the sample size, but applying the audit procedures incorrectly. Applying the audit procedures incorrectly, or interpret the results of the procedures incorrectly. ठीक हो गया, right? So that's the meaning of non-sampling risk. See, everyone, please. So, examiner need complete definition. Yes, obviously. Yes. So, cost and need and the example of the non-sampling risk. Suppose if you want to verify the existence of the asset, so to verify the existence of the asset, or you can say sample size, there are many deficiencies in the purchase cycle. There are many deficiencies in the purchases, but you select the sample from the sales, so this is the incorrect sample. Or you need to apply the audit procedures, like if you verify the asset by physically, so you go to physically to verify the existence, but you check the documentation of the car, so can you verify the existence of the asset from the document? No, you verify the existence of the asset by going physically, not checking the document. By checking the documents, you will know about the ownership of the vehicle, not the presence of the vehicle. So that's the inappropriate procedures. Thank you, Costa, you got it. I know, don't worry, I'm here for you. Now come to the B part. Very important, give me your last 40 minutes and then you are free. Okay, so last 40 minutes. Using the information provided, describe five audit risks. Five audit risks means audit risk, and explain the auditor response to each risk. Okay, now what we have mentioned, we have to answer the what is audit risk, why it is audit risk, and the auditor response. Prepare your answer using the two column headed audit risk and auditor response. It means you will give the answer in a tabular format. Okay. Now, read the first paragraph. Read this question with me. Okay. Abraham Co develops, manufactures, and sells a range of pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical means it's a highly regulated industry and has a wide customer base across Europe and Asia. You are audit manager of Netherlands company and you are planning the audit of Abraham Co, whose financial year is 31st January. Highlight these important information, key information. You attended a planning meeting with the finance director and engaging partner and now reviewing the file meeting notes in order to produce the audit strategy and plan. Revenue for the year is 25 million. Okay, this is just a basic information. Here you need to remember that it is a pharmaceutical industry and a regulated industry. Okay, now auditors is going to start. During the year, the company has spent 2.2 million on developing several new products. On developing several new products, some of these are in the early stages of development, while others are nearing completion. The finance director has confirmed that all projects are likely to be successful, so he is intending to capitalize the full amount. So he is capitalizing the full amount. Now, this is the problem. This is the thing which the management is doing. What the management is doing, management capitalizing the whole amount, that is 2.2 million, on developing the new products. So the criteria is only those expenses can be capitalized which can generate the future profits. So this is the criteria. But here the finance director has confirmed that all projects are likely to be successful. This is the thing. Now think the other way around. Here my line comes, my sentence, my words. Think around the other way. That is, there may be a possibility that all projects will not become successful. Yes, this is the other way around. This is the other way thinking. So that's the audit risk. And why it is audit risk? Because it is capitalizing the 2.2 million. It means it is overstating the non-current assets. Yes. Now come to the answer and you will realize. Remember, write down my third trick. It will save your time. Remember my third trick, save your time. Read it. Abraham Co. Finance Director intends to capitalize the 2.2 million of development expenditure incurred. So these three lines you can directly copy from the question. It will save your time. It will save your time. So that's the thing which the management is doing. But what's the other way around? What's the other mistake? What's the mistake can be done by the management? This material amount should only be capitalized if the related product can generate future profit as set out in this international accounting standard. So now this is the second point, why it is audit risk. So there is a risk that at least some of the expenditure does not meet the criteria. This will mean assets and profits will be overstated. So there are two things. One is you can copy it from the question, that is the audit risk, what the management is doing. You can copy it from the question, and then what can be the mistake done by the management, that's your audit risk. So you mentioned that the audit risk is at least some of the expenditure does not meet the criteria. So this is the possible risk. And why it is risk? This will mean assets and profits are overstated. So do you understand the complete structure of the audit risk? What you have to mention, you have to mention three things. That is what is doing by the management, what can be the mistake, and why it is audit risk. So do you understand the structure of the question till yet? Yes, mentioning of IAS, name of the IAS, if you remember about the accounting, then mention it. Otherwise, it is not necessary. You can simple mention it. You can simple mention it according to the standard. This is the criteria. You just need to, you can just mention that this is the standard. Okay. Please give your feedback. Come on, I need more messages. Do you understand the structure of the question of audit risk section? Yes, come on. Where are the others? Yes, more. Still less. I need more feedbacks. Every month, please mention your feedback. Yes, Raina. Jennifer, okay. Thank you for your response. Barbara, you are late. Why you are late? Tania, yes, good. Thank you for your feedback. Ganga, thank you for your feedback. Yes, yeah, this is a question box. You can feedback here. You can write down your feedback here. Ashwini, Murali, yes, thank you. Okay, now come to the auditor response. Now, just simple, just simple it. What you will do in response of this audit risk, there is a risk that at least some of the expenditure does not meet the criteria. Now what you will do, to cover the audit risk, simply you don't need to worry, you don't need to think about it. Simple, discuss with the management and review the feasibilities. Review the feasibilities, this is my opinion. Review the feasibilities and assumptions on which the management has decided that every project is successful. Obviously, obviously what you will do discuss with the management, one thing, and second thing is you will I can write down here, you will review the feasibilities and assumptions on which the management has decided that all projects are profitable. So if you review it, you will understand what is right and what is wrong. So is it the auditor response is enough? You can write it one more audit response, that is discuss with the management about the possibilities of the results, right? Now, so again, review the feasibilities and assumptions on which the management had decided that all projects are profitable. Now, I come to the answer again, now. So, read the auditor response. An analysis showing development cost in relation to each product should be obtained and reviewed. Okay, this is a procedure. Testing should be carried out to ensure the technical and commercial feasibility of each product, and where it cannot be proven that the future economic benefit will result from the product developed, the related cost should be expensed. Simple, in a simple way, you don't need to write a tough English, you do not write a tough sentence, you can simple write it. Testing should be carried out to ensure the technical and commercial feasibility, where you will feel that the product will not be successful in future, relevant costs should be expensed out. This is all about a proper response. Okay. Question contains 5 audit risk, 10 marks. One for audit risk and one for auditor response. So you need to mention one response and one audit risk. One audit risk contain 1 marks, one auditor response 1 mark. So each audit risk 5 marks here, 5 marks for auditor response. So in total you have 10 marks question. Okay. Now we will complete the question until unless you people say, sir, audit risk is very easy. Okay, now come to the question again. Come to this question again. Now I read again. I read it from the next paragraph. Once completed the product, once products have completed the development stage, Abramco begins manufacturing them. Okay. At the year end, it is anticipated that there will be significant levels of work in progress. There are significant levels of work in progress. You can make it as an audit risk because significant level means it is material. So this is a pharmaceutical industry. It is highly regulated and complex industry. So you can link with that this is a highly regulated industry, complex industry. So there is an audit risk that our audit team does not have sufficient skills to count the stock, or maybe there is a problem in the closing work in progress, which ultimately leads to over and understatement of the stock. There is an over and understatement of the stock. Significant levels means there is a heavy stock in work in progress. So you can say there is an audit risk that the significant levels of work in progress may be inaccurate, may be not in a countable position, so stocks can be overstated or understated. Okay, now come to the answer, what it is mentioned by the examiner. Now copy the same lines here. I told you one trick. Copy the same lines here. At the year end, it is anticipated that there will be significant levels of work in progress likely to constitute a material balance. So this is the three lines which you can copy it directly from the question. You don't need to think about it. Just write down it and save your time. Each and every minute and second is important for you in the exams. Okay. So the pharmaceuticals product process is likely to be complex and the audit team may not sufficiently qualify to assess the quantity and value of work in progress, which ultimately lead to over and understatement in the financial statements. Okay, so first we identify the possibility, the mistake, and why it is audit risk. How it is audit risk, because misstatement in the financial statements can be possible. So what should be the response? Nate and company should assess its ability to gain the required level of evidence, and if it is not sufficient, it should approach an independent expert to value the work in progress. This is the risk you cover. So take a 30 seconds to read this again, then we will come to the next audit risk. uh, Inherent and control risk is the main part of the audit risk question. Detection risk, maybe a 1% can be tested, but in all the questions, only inherent and control risk is tested. So focus on the control risk and inherent risk. Audience, are you still active? Mention each and every one, write down each and every one who is attending my class, who is attending my webinar, everyone. Now, we will continue the question. The company has uses a standard costing method to value inventory. Okay, understand? Remember, um, your power to read the question and absorb the data. This thing should be very quick. The company uses a standard costing method to value inventory. The standard costs are set when the product is first manufactured and are not usually updated. So what you will do, firstly, simple, the write down from here to here, updated, write down this sentence as a copy paste. Okay, this is the best trick. You save ultimately at the end of the question 4 to 5 minutes. The simple copy is the company uses a standard costing method to value inventory. The standard costs are set when a first is first manufactured and are not usually updated. So this is the thing that the organization is doing. So first tell me, you audience, what's the audit risk? Or what is the audit risk? What is the audit risk? Company is using the standard costing, and this standard costing is not usually updated. Yes, everyone please answer. Yes, yes, very good. Namra, Raful Alam, Anand, Parth Gathani. Yes, very good. Yes, yes, very good. Now audit risk is the valuation of the product is wrong, may be inaccurate. This is the audit risk. Why it is audit risk? Which ultimately leads to the overstatement and understatement of the inventory, or understatement, overstatement of the balance sheet. Ultimately, affects. Okay. So, what should be the auditor response? Now, I will not open the answer. You tell me, guys, what should be the auditor response? What should be the auditor response? Auditor, what the auditor will do to cover this audit risk? Best, very good, Reshma, you are right. Review the method of evaluation. Amar Rahman, you are right. Barbara Man, gain evidence, complete the sentence, please. Yes, discuss the management, the rationale for using standard costing method and review it. You have to cover the risk. You have to cover the risk. So what's the best response is to review the costing method and compare it with the actual cost. If you find any significance, any difference, then you may adjust it. Audit risk means you cover the audit risk. The audit examiner does not ask the audit procedures. He is asking about the proper procedure which covers your risk, which minimizes your risk. Only discussion with the management is not the appropriate response. You need to mention the appropriate response which covers the full and complete audit risk. If I will say that the discussion with the management to uh, discussion about the cost, is it cover your audit risk? No. So discussion with the management and review the costing method and compare it with the actual. If there is a difference, then adjust it accordingly. So here you cover the complete audit risk. Yes. Okay. Got it. Now, for your confidence, to boost your confidence, in this section, I am going to read the answer of the examiner. Okay. So Abraham Co uses standard costing to value the inventory, and under IS 220, the standard costing method may be used for convenience. So these are the few lines which you can copy from the question, but only if the results approximate actual cost. However, standard cost, this is the audit risk, have not been updated since the product was first manufactured, leading to a risk that standard costs are out of date. So this could, and now this is why it is audit risk. So this could mean inventory is over or undervalued in the statement of financial position. So this is the why it is audit risk. It is mentioning here. Now auditor response. At a standard cost used for inventory valuation should be compared to actual cost for an appropriate sample of inventory items. Any significance variations should be discussed with management to gain evidence that the valuation is reasonable and valuation is fairly stated. So that's the thing which I am trying to focus you. The structure of the question, you know why people are failed in these exams, because students does not know the structure of the question. Every topic has a different structure. So the topics which we are selected for the total 5 days are very crucial, are very important. I will guide you the proper structure with technical and practical knowledge. Now, come to the next question. Suppose we started from this paragraph. In September, a new accounting package was introduced. A new accounting package means a new software was introduced. This is a bespoke system developed by the information technology IT manager. So first is the audit is that the new accounting software was introduced. The old and new software packages means softwares were not run in parallel. It means they are not, when in an organization, when the new software is developed, old software is working parallel so that no mistake can be done in the software, or if there any mistake can be done in the software, can be happen in the software, so we can easily trace out from the old software. So when the new accounting software is installed, old and new softwares should be run parallel for a certain period of time. When the new software is installed in an organization, new and all old software should be run parallel for a certain period of time, so that the people can be user free in using the new software. So here is the risk that new accounting software was introduced, but the new system, but the old package or software were not run in parallel. So these are the lines which you can paste it directly in the answer. Now, what is an audit risk? Audit risk is the transferring of the closing balances of the old software into the new software. The closing balances, I'm writing down here, the closing balances of the closing balances of the old software into the new software, transferring into the new software may be wrong, because at this time only new software is working. So there is a possible risk that the closing balances of the old software, the closing balances of the account balances in old software transferring into the new software may be wrong. So this is an audit risk. Now, why it is audit risk? We will not see the answer. It will audit. Why it is audit is because it will create the chances of the over and misstatement in any area of the financial position in the financial statements. So why it is? It can create the any misstatement. It can create the misstatements in any area of the financial statements, because maybe uh, assets closing balances may be wrong, maybe you can say payables balances may be wrong, so it can create the misstatements in any area of the financial statements. Okay, now come to the answer. In September, a new accounting package was introduced. The fact that the two systems were not run in parallel, increasing the risk that errors, including during the changeover, were not highlighted. And all this is the risk. This is the risk. And why it is audit risk? That all areas of the financial statements could potentially be affected. Now, what should be the auditor response? You people, please can mention. I am waiting from your side. So, what should be the auditor response? So what should be the auditor response? Please, need a response from your side. Yes, Malik, you're right. Check the end balance is tied with the new opening balances of the new system. Yes. Transfer amounts, Reshma. Yes, this is also the right procedure. Zaim, nahi, auditor should increase sample of, no. Uh, yes, Namra, you are right. Yes, Bilal. Yes, Subramaniam. Yes, Barbara. Now we will read the response. The new system will need to be fully documented by the audit team, including relevant controls. Okay, testing. This is the procedure you are writing in the question box, and I'm very happy that you people can do it now. Testing should be performed to ensure the closing data of the old system was correctly transferred as the opening data on the new system, and that transactions have not been duplicated on both systems. Very good, guys, very good. You people are going very well. Now, I think we will discuss one more audit risk, and then now, last paragraph, we will find one more audit risk. In order to fund the development of a new product, Abraham's Co has restructured its finance and raised 1 million through issuing shares at a premium 2.5 as a long-term loan. No. Abraham Co has restructured its finance and raised 1 million through issuing shares at a premium. Okay, company take restructure its finance and raise 1 million loan through issuing shares, means through equity, and 2.5 million through a long-term loan. Just copy paste this sentence, and then what is an audit risk? Here you can simply mention that the bifurcation can be go wrong. Bifurcation of equity and the long-term loan can be go wrong, which ultimately leads the overstatement or understatement of the equity and liabilities. Because there are two types of loan. One loan has been taken through issuing shares at a premium, issuing shares through equity, and 2.5 million through a long-term loan. So copy paste this sentence, then think around the other way. Think around the other way means maybe there is a chance that the company book the long-term loan as an equity and book the equity loan as a long-term loan. There is a possible risk which ultimately leads to over and understatement of equity and payable abilities. So what should be the auditor response? Auditors should check the valuation, should check the classification of all the loans and ensure that the loan amount has been received. Yes, now we will read the answer. I'm now I'm now increasing my frequency of reading the answer. 1 million of equity finance and 2.5 million of long-term loan has been raised during the year. Copy paste, just I told you. The accounting treatment and disclosure of these can be complex with the equity finance to be allocated correctly between share capital and share premium and the loan to be properly presented as a non-current liability. So disclosure need to be sufficient to comply. Okay, you can leave this thing. Okay, so we need to ensure the proper classification, which can be go wrong. This is the audit risk, which ultimately leads to misclassification of overstatement or understatement of the financial statements or payables. So what should be the auditor response? The audit team must ensure the split of the equity finance is correct and that financing proceeds of 3.5 million were received. This is the auditor response. Now guys, tell me about your feedback. The question is over. You have mentioned the audit risk. Now, are you feel comfortable in doing the audit risk question? Just give me your feedback. Are you feel comfortable? I told you copy where to copy paste, what are the audit risk, components of audit risk, which organizations are inherent risky, what are the examples of the control risk, what are the examples of detection risk, and what to mention in the auditor risk. Okay, and how to write the response, what should not be included, what should be included, what are the possible mistakes. So now there are two questions more which I have given to you. One thing now you should do for me. Can you do it for me? Give me a commitment, then I will give you. If everyone gives me a commitment, then I will ask you one thing. You should do this for me. I am waiting for the response of each and every one candidate who is listening my voice. Ricky, thank you. More. I need more. Yes, I'm seeing your messages. Yes, very good. Still waiting for more messages. Yes, I'm getting approximately 100 messages. More. There are many, many in the class. Okay, now I have given you, yes, Phillips, you can write the response here where you are writing. Yes, you can write it here. Now I have given you the question. You have aquamarine question, right? You have received the email where you have the question that is aquamarine. Do you have the question? Presenter, please upload the question and aquamarine answer and question both. Why people do not have it? Most of them have. Tania have the question. Very good. Okay, you people got all handouts. Now what you do? You will do this question first, aquamarine first, and then if you will get the time, then go for the smooth brush. But I need and I want you to complete this question before the next day webinar. It will, it this when you will resolve this question will polish you further, will make your foundation more strong like concrete. So do not forget this question. Every question is drilled. Every question is drilled for you to clarify your confusions, to clarify you your mistakes. So please read first, do the aquamarine question and then go for smooth brush. Do not do for smooth brush. First, you have to do aquamarine question. This is all about the today's session. Hopefully, you have my number. My number is 92345447 You can presenter tell the feedback where they can be given. You can give it there. You can email them, or you can give the feedback after the 5 sessions, after the 5 webinars. Presenter, please also make a WhatsApp group. Presenter will make a WhatsApp group as well. You have my contact number. My WhatsApp is on the same number. You can call me directly, and you can text me on WhatsApp. Uh, if you still need any assistance, if you still require any type of information, any confusion, I will be there. Or tomorrow, inshallah, we will come back with a new topic, and I will try my best again. I will try my best again that the tomorrow's topic will be on your fingers. So when you will going to attempt the paper, you will feel relaxed and cool. And if you have a good preparation, you don't need to worry at all. So you are with me, you are in my hands. So you inshallah, we will done a good job. My again, you are asking my number. It's 92345447 So take care of yourself. Please take and apply proper SOPs to avoid from COVID-19 impact, because your days are very crucial and important. Weather is also changing, so do not eat anything wrong which is not suitable for your health. So inshallah, we will meet you tomorrow. Keep remembering me in your prayers. Your own tutor, Hafiz Arsalan Shabir. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.